check and see what's in the treasury, and then we'll keep going on with cast mode. And it looks like we got gold. We have stones of sunlight. And at this time, they were looking to see if they had return. Return would actually allow them to fly out of the cave or out of the throne room, saving the magic key. Stones of sunlight is actually one of the key items that they are looking for in order to build the rainbow drop. So as our runners exit the cave, I think we are going to be looking for that monster that we were just talking about that will have 5 hit points or less to get started here. Also, with the Dragon Lord 2, Dragon Lord 2 does not have their sleeper hurt or more resistance randomized, however have their stop spell resistance randomized. Dragon Lord 2 can cast heal or sleep. Also, the thing randomized with Dragon Lord 2 is going to be their hit points can roll 100 to 230 HP. And it looks like starting off we got Druid Lords with sleep and Spectres with hurt more. So already the runners are just not looking too good with the mobs that they're finding. Oh, and it looks like Spectres also have sleep. Grace just gave the business to Seawolf, sending him back to the castle. Wolf Lord's also not too friendly, so far, I mean, off to a not very good start from some played and watched this week. Our runners are actually struggling to find that low hit point mob that we like to refer to as the wet noodle. It looks like Matt or Drakes also have hurt more, running into more Spectres on Seawolf, Centroid, and Xarnax's screen. And as you can see, they only need 13. They can find this wet noodle mob. They're almost guaranteed to get a level. And werewolves having more than 6 hit points, hitting for 7s and 6s, so not gonna find any help there on the Seawolf screen. jkoper runs into a Druid Lord with an excellent move, but he's gonna get put to sleep. Centroid finding a cave and coming across a green dragon who says "Thou shalt not pass" and sends him back to Tantagle Castle. And it looks like Xarnax is going to do a reset here and redo the chess. I don't know if he's changing his strategy from strength hit points to another character. No, it looks like he's still going with the hit points in the... Man, just having no luck for our runners. And like I said, in the past, I played quite a few of these seeds, and every once in a while you just find a seed that just, you know, will get on any of the 4 screens, making any progress whatsoever. But as far as cast mode itself goes, I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of our runners as they get started here. See if somebody can make a big play or a big gamble, as this is week 5 and it is the final week before the playoffs. So these 5 points are going to be crucial to whichever runner can be the first one to defeat the Dragon Lord and earn those 5 points. So I would really like to see, like I said, you know, some really big gambles for some of our runners to see if they pay off. It looks like we find the Golem and the Golem on jkoper's screen just sends him right back, as well sending him back to Tantacle Castle. Decided to just, you know, he's not finding any luck with the mobs up there, so maybe he can find a early town or something, reset, grab that gold, and make a run for it. And it looks like jkoper might be attempting the same thing, but on the northern side of Tantacle. And sadly for our runners, Tantacle is placed right there on the edge of the swamp, so I think traveling any direction in the east is just not going to be much progress for our runners, as they just don't have any way to heal, and traveling through the swamp each step will decrease their health by 2 hit points. Xarnax finding a Druid Lord who, just like before, likes to cast the spell of sleep. Centroid getting put to sleep by another Spectre, also using the Hurt More spell. So the Seawolf, though, finding the Jerk Cave there. Both sending our runners back to the castle. I've yet to see one potential mob outside Tantacle that's even remotely a friendly mob. I mean, werewolves were probably by far the friendliest, but attacking for 6 and 7 damage only takes just, I think, 4 rounds for our runner before they're out of hit points and they're able to do anything. Xarnax trying to run from the Draki, but the Draki has so much agility that it's just not allowing him to get away. Oh, and jkoper finds 2 towns to the north. The first one he enters is going to be Cantlin. He'll have access to 2 different weapon shops here, both one in the north and one in the south, to see what he's able to get. Flame Sword at 22 gold. That is going to be a huge pickup for jkoper, as well as the small shield for 30. I'd probably look and see what the other shop has. You might be able to find a better deal, but definitely store Flame Sword, which is going to give jkoper a huge advantage. And there you go, Silver Shield also 43. Finding both items, both the weapon and the Silver Shield, that are both the best purchasable items that you can get right at the start. Both for under 100 gold each. Definitely a huge score for jkoper. And I think he's going to go back and get the chainmail for 250. And the Flame Sword is actually going to be good for an additional 28 attack power for jkoper, as well as the Silver Shield allowing 20 defensive points, and the chainmail adding an additional 10 to his defensive power. So looks like he's going to go ahead and stock up on some herbs here, since the runners don't have any way to heal as of now. So those herbs will do jkoper wonders. Also buying the Dragon Skill and equipping that for an additional 2 defensive points as well. So jkoper off to a really good start, because he still has that other town just off to the west of Cantlin that he has yet to check. But Xarnax heading north finds Cantlin, doesn't quite make it, but knows that there is a town up to the... jkoper gets check out that other to Tantacle Castle. And Centroid entering Cantlin, and hopefully he's going to get the knowledge that he can get Flame Sword as well as a Silver Shield if he checks the bottom shop. So he might actually do a reset out, get the gold from Seawolf still checking out the hills in the forest that he will be able to take down, and hopes to get the XP that he needs to level. And we see jkoper using them herbs that he just bought, trying to whittle down this wizard. Not having any luck yet, but he's going the distance, and he's going to try and take out this wizard. And he does. He does for 59 XP, 5 gold, but that's just enough. That's going to take him up to level for 2 power, 16 response, which is agility, and 19 hit points, it looks like. So that's going to put him up to level 4, so he's already got a boost on the other runners. Finding a blue slime with stop spell. Centroid gets put to sleep by a wraith. Man, I'll tell you, this sea has just not been too friendly. Between all the sleeps and the Hurtmoors right around Tentacle Castle, it has been a bugger for our runners to get anywhere. Except for jkoper. jkoper still struggling, but manages to take out a Spectre for 141 EXP, being the first one to grab that flame sword and that silver shield. Also learning heal more now, so he's got a little bit of an edge on these other runners, but the other runners at least have the knowledge that Caitlin is to the north. If they can just get up there with that gold, they should hopefully be in about the same position as jkoper. Also looks like he has jkoper has learned the spell of Hurt, Stop spell, and it looked like Radiant. Hurt will be another good one for those mobs with really high agility. You may actually be able to whittle them down using the Hurt spell versus just outright attacking them. But he's not going to find out what that second town is, as that wraith is going to send him back to the castle. And Xarnax makes it finally to Caitlin with 650 gold in hand, and he should pick up his flame sword, silver shield, and I want to say he might even grab the chainmail armor as well. Centroid gonna make another trek, and hopefully he can make it up to Caitlin, because he knows that the flame sword is up there. Whereas I don't think the Seawolf has yet to leave the sights of Tantacle, still struggling to find the wet noodle, which has just been elusive to our runners. Yep, and there's Xarnax. He's going to pick up his silver shield, it looked like, and his chainmail. Though he didn't stop to grab any herbs. And that golem says, "Thou shalt not pass," and gets a first attack and sends him back to the castle. Though jkoper, the first person to see the town, is also the first person to enter the town, and we see that it is Hawk's Nest. And I think jkoper will probably go in and at least check out what the trap tile is, at least for the knowledge as to what he's up against. And the Seawolf going to do a full reboot and grab the 3 chests here in Tantacle. But as we can see, there are some nasty mobs there in Hawk's Nest. One of them being a Tries to attack the Wyvern, does get an excellent move, and is dodged by the Wyvern. Centroid, finally making it to Cantlin, is going to pick up his Flame Sword. And probably gonna go ahead down south and grab his Silver Shield as well. Also picked up the small shield, which wasn't a bad deal considering it was only 30 at the top, because you just never know what the bottom shop is gonna have. But he's gonna clearly trade that in for the Silver Shield. And jkoper hitting level 9 already. Inside, it looks like Hawksness there, just going ahead and grinding away on this Warlock that just has Dragonlord 2 Breath, and yikes! As he's trying to get that stop spell off, and it just is not working. Has to run though. But he's gonna go right back in there once he heals up and give it another go, so. And Centroid gonna go ahead and pick up some herbs here. Xarnax hitting level 2 finds the Druid Lord again. Tries to attack it with the Flame Sword, gets put to sleep right immediately after. And the Seawolf killing a Spectre for that 8 XP is also going to get his level 2, so Seawolf finally break out a little bit. Level 1, but does have his items, is going to do a quick save here. And jkoper finally does it. Gets through the Warlock, searches the spot, but finds nothing. Also, that Warlock was only worth 24 EXP, so all the resources that it took him to kill him down, to find an empty search spot, and to only get 24 gold. And that right there, guys, is Chaos Mode in a nutshell. You just never know what you're going to get until you go there. And sometimes, you know, like, that early gamble could have paid off if it was Erdvik's armor or even the token, but this time it just didn't pay off. Centroid got some revenge though on that Druid Lord, able to kill it and get his level 2. jkoper finding the Staff of Rain cave next to, let's see if he does any movement that we can figure that out. But we might not find out, because that blue slime having Dragonlord 2 Breath. And by the looks of it, it's going to be Swamp North, because he's heading south, so that would appear that he has found Swamp North. Ooh, Xarnax running into a blue wolf, finding out that it also has Dragonlord 2 Breath, sends him back, while Centroid41 runs into a blue slime, also having Dragonlord 2 Breath, and sending him back. jkoper finding Garen's grave, so he'll be the first to find hopefully we'll get to see what the first 3 chests are, as Xarnax enters Swamp North. And Centroid hitting level 4 on his side of the screen, learning Heal More, so that'll be a huge advantage for him. Also, the Seawolf getting level 4. And it looks like jkoper and Xarnax are relatively close on XP, both at level 9. It looks like jkoper is just actually about 500 XP ahead of him currently, but both at level 9. And both actually gone through Swamp North and are on the other side of the continent, and it looks like he's going to head into Garen's Grave as well. Meanwhile, the Seawolf takes out that wizard and gets his 59 XP, and that will advance him up into another level. And it looks like we got Fairy Water Herb, and I didn't quite see the first chest at the top of Garen's Grave, but I did see that we did get a herb and a Fairy Water there. Oh, it was a Curse Belt. Okay, it looks like it is a Curse Belt. Centroid going inside and finding out that that's the Jerk Cave. And we call it the Jerk Cave because he will trade you the Rainbow Drop if you bring him the Staff of Rain, the Stones of Sunlight, and Erdrick's Token. But usually, the most missed item is usually Erdrick's Token. And when you go to talk to him, and you're missing one of those items, he will just escort you out of the cave like the jerk he is. jkoper gonna take out this green dragon and get his 208 XP and 211 gold, and that'll be good for level 11 on jkoper. And it looks like he's just gonna grind back and forth in the desert because that dragon didn't seem too difficult for him, and for 208 XP then, I mean, that's really good. The Seawolf gonna head just north of Cantlin and find Rimuldar. So he will be, I believe, the second person to find Rimuldar and to get his keys. While Centroid takes out a mob for 219 EXP and is going to hit his level 7. Xarnax and jkoper both hitting level 13, relatively staying reasonably close in XP, just kind of going back and forth on the lead, but staying relatively close. Now jkoper is getting that Dragon Lord 2 breath from the wolf and is gonna have to head back to Tantagle and retrace his journey. And the Seawolf is gonna go and find himself in Hawk's Nest, although doesn't quite make it to the trap tile as that Wraith blocks him and escorts him. And we have Empty Eye in chat here saying, all of the power, 0 power. I love it. Now we're going to see the treasury on Seawolf's screen, and he's going to find the Death Necklace. He's going to find the Erdrick Sword, Big Stick, gold, so possible gold grind, not that our runners are going to need it, and a Dragon Scale, considering we were able to find Dollar Store, Flame Sword, and Silver Shield, both at Cantlin, just to the north. Centroid finding Rimuldar right there as he was bracing around, and he's going to go grab his keys next. Well, we have Xarnax is going to go ahead and head out of the Grave of Garenham because I don't believe he saw Rimuldar yet and was able to purchase keys, and he needs a key in order to get to the bottom 2 chests there of the grave. So I think he's just going to go ahead and continue on, maybe look for another cave. Maybe look for coal, brickonary, another possible town. Still haven't seen Sharlock sighting yet either. And Centroid going to get the chest in Rimildar, which is the Silver Harp. And I believe Centroid was one of the few runners too that did see the Staff of Rain cave also. So that knowledge to him will be really, really good to be able to turn in that Silver Harp in order to claim his Staff of Rain. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and dive into Hawk's Nest, check out that trap tile. However, we know the mob that's there is the Warlock, but he's not hiding anything. And jkoper going to come into Rimildar and grab his keys. The Warlock gets a back attack, showing that Dragon Lord 2 breath right at the beginning. And Centroid is going right ahead with the sleep strats, putting the Warlock to sleep, able to get that heal more off, and is hoping to whittle him down while he's sleeping. jkoper going to find his Silver Harp in Rimildar. And Centroid showing us how easy it is with that sleep spell, although we know that there wasn't anything to be searched there. And it looks like Xarnax is in Mountain Cave. I didn't quite see what was it, where exactly that was, or what was in there, so hopefully somebody in chat can post this, as I'm trying to keep an eye on all four of these screens. And sometimes chaos, it can be quite difficult to, you know, maintain and watch every single screen at the same time. So, but Centroid gonna come right in here and gonna hopefully grab some coordinates from the old man down here. Looks like 1 to the north and 75 west. jkoper finding coal, but I was reading the coordinates, so I didn't quite get to see because he just was mashing the text too fast to see if he what he found in coal. Okay, so it looks like chat saying that it was the fairy flute that was in coal. So that's going to mean that the Erdrick's armor is going to be in the search bot coordinates, and that's going to leave the token in a randomized treasure chest. So we do know that the coordinates are going to be needed in order to get the armor in this case. Interesting enough, jkoper is going to go to the middle shop now that he has keys and see what he can score for armor, and well, there was just nothing notable other than another cheap broadsword, but we have the flame sword, so no need for that. Centroid is going to pick up his Staff of Rain. Also, Centroid is the only one of our runners too that has the coordinates, so we'll see if he's going to go to Swamp North and see if what the trap tile is there. Maybe save Gwaelin in order to spot the coordinates a bit easier if he doesn't want to count them, or in the event that they may be on another continent. But 1 to the north, 75 to the west could possibly be a doable count. It's all going to depend on how many obstacles to the west are in the way. And the Seawolf finding the token, which appeared to be in what we like to call bonus cave. So as it is now, we know where all the items are. Now it's just a matter of which of our runners are going to be the first to find what's left and be the first to claim that rainbow drop. But I don't think we've seen a Xarnax sighting at this time yet either. So they will still be going around and looking for that. Also, it looks like Fighter's Ring was at the bottom of Gwayland, or not Gwayland, the Grave of Garingham. So that'll be good for an extra 2 attack power for Xarnax. And jkoper finding the bonus cave and is going to get his Erdrick's token, while just below him the Seawolf turning in his silver harp and claiming his Staff of Rain. And the Seawolf actually has all the items now, along with Centroid, in order to claim their rainbow drop. But so far, Centroid is still the only runner that has gone into Cantland and has got the coordinates. And as you see, we're going to see the Seawolf go ahead and grab his rainbow drop while he's right. And once Seawolf gets his coordinates and decides if he's going to try to count it out or grab the saving the princess to get Gwayland's Love, which when you use it as an item, it will tell you how close you are to the next experience level, but it also tells you how far away from the castle you are, so you'll be able to use that to guide your coordinates, in this case to find the armor. But once he does that, he'll be in grind and go mode. So using that fairy flute, putting that golem to sleep and getting his 41 EXP. Or, I mean, not the fairy flute, sorry, just using sleep. Xarnax going to take out that green dragon for his 208 XP. And Centroid, the second person to claim his rainbow drop. But as far as it is now, like I said, now our runners are starting to gather up the items that they need. Both of our bottom runners, Seawolf1 and Centroid41, both have their items with the exception of Erdrick's armor. Both of them, though, are a little bit lower level than the top two. The top two, it looks like jkoper now also has rainbow drop, but Xarnax still needs to swing by Rimmeldar to pick up his silver harp from the Rimmeldar chest and claim his Staff of Rain, so that he will be able to get his Stones of Sunlight once he finds bonus cave and claims his Erdrick's token. But it looks like Centroid was in Swamp North, and he was headed over to the trap tile where the princess is. So we'll see if that's going to be his plan to go down and save her. And it looks like it's going to be, in order to do the coordinate count. So also jkoper has decided the same thing. He's going to go ahead and claim his Gwayland's Love, which, as you can see on the tracker, we call it GPS. Xarnax is going to get his Death Necklace, and is going to also put on a dragon scale that he just got out of the armory there in Tantagal. And jkoper still on that scorpion. You save the princess, they have to go back and drop him with King Lorik, and they will get the item called Gwaelin's Love. And thank you, Randomania2, for raiding. All you guys coming over from Rando Mania 2, boy, have we had a seed for you. Starting out, our runners just had zero luck. Every single mob outside Tentacle Castle either had Sleep, Hurt More, Dragon Lord 2 Breath, and they just struggled. They could not find the wet noodle. In fact, it was jkoper, the first person to actually, after about 15 minutes in, decided to travel a little bit north, finding Caitlin, finding Dollar Store Flame Sword, and Silver Shield, was the first to actually be able to connect and kill a mob outside Tentacle Castle and start gaining any sort of XP. But as you can see now, all of our runners are pretty well caught up with items, with the exception of Xarnax, still looking for the Silver Harp, which we know is in Rimmildar, behind the two locked doors there. He's gonna go. He is in Hawk's Nest now, going to fight the Dragon Lord 2 Breath Warlock that we know is hiding nothing under the search spot. So if he manages to kill the Warlock, he'll find out some pretty bad news there. In fact, we know as of right now the Erdrick's armor is on the search spot, which is 1 north, 75 west, and 3 of the runners have actually, I know 2 for sure went and saved Gwaelin and got the Gwaelin's Love, and I thought I saw the Seawolf down there, but I don't see the princess marked on his screen. Yes, and in chat we have Tristal MTG saying 1 north, 75 west is such a tease. It really is, because, I mean, is it countable? Possibly. It depends on how many obstacles they're going to run into, you know, to the west, having to count 75 spaces. But it looks like Centroid and jkoper originally rescued the princess, but it looks like they appear to have died before they could return them, so they have to come back and rescue said princess a second time here and see if they can make it. As the Seawolf is got his coordinates now, so from the old man. So we'll see if he decides to grab the save the princess, or if he's gonna try to do the manual count. jkoper exits the swamp north, looks at his spells and decides, nope, I'm just gonna cast return this time and save the hassle. Sword was in the treasure. The Seawolf coming into Hawk's Nest is going to find out his bad news when he goes and kills the Warlock that is guarding just an empty search spot. And it looks like we have Edgeworth, who's volunteered to come in and help with some commentary, as we have just a whole bunch of chaos going on tonight.
Sorry, some audio issues.
Oh, it's going good. Actually, the seeds, I don't know if you've been watching, but just not our runners. As I said earlier, couldn't find the wet noodle leaving tentacle. They found a lot of sleep, a lot of Hurtmore, and a lot of Dragonlord breath. And I think it was about 15 minutes in when jkoper actually decided to explore and was able to find Cantlin just to the north of Tentacle, and found Dollar Store, Flame Sword, and Silver Shield, which allowed him to break free. And then just probably 5 minutes or so later, all the other runners also decided to make that same move. So
no sign of the armor, though, huh?
It appears everything we've seen so far means that the armor has to be in the coordinate location. So 2 of our runners so far that I can see did rescue the princess, so I'm assuming that's going to be the next thing that they go for, is the coordinates being 1 north, 75 west. A bit of a tease, because you just don't know, what obstacles you're going to run into traveling, 75 spaces to the west.
Yeah, a lot of times that's going like 30 north and then 30 south just to get to where you're going.
And so far, green dragons are probably the mob you want to see this chaos seed, because only takes 2 hits to take them down, and they're not doing much damage in return. But for a whopping 208 XP, blue slime's given 141, but they do have that breath that they like to fire on occasion, so not a very reliable XP mob.
And jkoper's going to be the first to find Erdrick's armor just south of town.
So that'll go ahead and put jkoper right there into grind and go mode. So, and as far as I've seen, I don't think we've seen a sighting for Sharlock yet. So
it's always funny when the biggest thing on the map is the last thing that you find.
Which is quite impressive, considering we are already 43 minutes in, and most seeds that I've helped run this week, or even just were able to catch and watch, by 43 minutes, I mean, you got 2, 3, if not all 4 runners, and they're racing for the Dragonlord, finding out, the Dragonlord is not want to be messed with and just keeps escorting our players, back to the castle. But, here we are 43 minutes in, and we don't even know where Sharlock is.
Wow, and looking at Centroid's screen, he just pulled up the GPS, and Gwaylan told him, sorry, the next level is at around 5,000, so there's going to be some serious leveling if the runners don't feel like they're prepared to go at the 14.
Yeah, and as you can see right now, Xarnax with the XP lead actually has 4,100, which is 1,600 more than what Centroid has, and that means he's still almost 4,000 away from next level. I think it's like 3,400 or something, so even he's got a long ways to go.
Yeah, I think he'll get the next level at about 900 or so, but it's just harder to grind in chaos mode.
It is, and even if you don't get Gwaylan's love because you need it for the coordinates, sometimes in chaos mode it's actually a handy device knowing how close or how far you are to that next level, especially when you're diving Sharlock and you just don't feel like you have enough oomph, and you want to get that next level, but it could be a matter of 10 XP, or it could be a matter of 4,000 or 5,000 XP. So having that knowledge is really handy to have on the go.
And Xarnax picks up his Silver Harp. Looking at the stats, 132 is pretty nice attack power, but the MP is a little low, and the defense power is a little low. And when the Dragonlord can have, 200 200 HP. It is kind of an uncomfortable fight still with these stats.
I mean, even with jkoper there, with 90 defense power, you know, I mean, that's looking good for most seeds, but I actually had a seed, I think I ran it with Mr. Holmes, and he likes to refer to it as a legendary seed, as we had 96, I think it was 96 defensive power at level 16, and the Dragonlord 1 still hit us for almost 100 damage.
Yeah. I always feel like, though, with Chaos Mode, if you have a stat build that you think could get it done in Standard, you just have to give it a try, because you never know if the Dragonlord's made out of paper. You just need that information.
Yeah, and, you know, one thing going into the seed I had mentioned is, because this is the final week, so these 5 points are going to be crucial to our runners going forward to week 6 into the playoffs. But I'm kind of looking for one of those big gambles. If we find Sharlock, I would love to see one of our runners go in there, get the knowledge, you know, what is Dragonlord 1 holding? What is Dragonlord 2 holding? Because you never know, you could go in there and it could be the most basic Dragonlord 1 fight or 2 fight, and you can just pull out a win just like that. But if you don't, you at least go in there knowing, okay, Dragonlord 2 has sleep, or, you know, I need stop spell, but I'm going to need, you know, 10 heal mores. I just don't have the MP. Then you know, okay, I got to start grinding. I need this much MP over the other racers. But, you know, you could, like I said, I mean, there's been times I've seen people go in there and they just, you know, go in there and it's just like, wow, Dragonlord's dead.
Yeah, and it's not just DL1, but or DL2, but it's good information to know what DL1 has too. We've seen a lot of bulldozer DL1s in these seasons.
Yep.
And especially if you're on the line where you're debating whether or not you want to throw the death necklace on or not, you know, how hard that dude is hitting could make a pretty big difference.
Yeah, and that's correct too. Usually when I play these chaos runs and I do make it to Dragonlord 1, usually I go in there, the first knowledge I do is I try to cast sleep on Dragonlord 1, because I like to see, you know, what Dragonlord 1's sleep resistance is. And there's times you can get lucky and they put it to sleep and it doesn't wake up the whole entire time. Or, you know, sleep doesn't work, like to cast stop spell, and just burn as much of my MP as I have on the first 2 phases, just to get the knowledge as to, okay, you know, this is what the resistance is, or this is what the resistance isn't. So when I actually go into the second time to fight it, if I'm not lucky the first time, you know, I know what I'm getting myself into, and I can plan, you know, the MP in order to go in there and actually give it a good try.
Centroid doing a coordinates check. Is this the second one he's made?
Yeah, he was actually, I believe, one of our first racers that got the coordinates earlier.
Oh no.
Looks like the Seawolf is trying to use the GPS and counting to find his Erdrick's armor here.
Yeah, and there is a Sharlock sighting.
Yeah, jkoper finding a...
What?
I said, yeah, jkoper, the first one to find Sharlock. I really hope he's going to go in there and give us a first look here.
Yeah, his MP's a little on the low side, but he might be willing to give this a shot.
Yeah, as long as, like, Dragonlord 2 doesn't have, you know, 230 hit points, as long as it has a relatively reasonable amount of HP. I mean, he does have 10 heal mores, striking between, I think is going to be doing between about 8 to 16 damage. So, what's that? 12 roughly? 12 average? So, I mean, with 10 heal mores, that's 120. Granted, he doesn't get any double attacks, so I mean, it is possible.
Yeah, he's down to 60 right now, so this might be a little dicey, but I still support an information dive. And also, if the Dragon Lord has a spell, you definitely could get away with a lot less heal mores than you normally would, as long as you hit that stop spell.
That's correct, and then that's one thing that would be good to note. You know, if the Dragon Lord 2 has sleep, especially, and it's something that he casts a lot, and you are able to land that stop spell, your heal mores, you know, could, you know, double at that point, because you're not going to have to use it as much with them, you know, using the sleep spell. But now if it's heal, on the other hand, it could still work, but you won't find out that he has heal until you're within the final 25% of his hit points. And well, if he's got, you know, rolled max HP, then he probably doesn't have enough MP to, you know, find out the knowledge, other than he needs more MP and possibly needs another level.
Yeah, so jkoper, looking at his GPS and seeing he only needs to knock off about 4 more of these metal scorpions in order to get to the next level. So 15 looking pretty good, but 16 probably going to look a lot better for him. And we'll see what kind of boost he gets right now.
And at 224 XP, I mean, and these didn't seem relatively that hard. So, I mean, in his case, I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to grind out here a couple more of these to get.
Oh, the next level's at 85. Wow.
Good for him. One more, and he's going to go ahead and get that extra level there.
It's a power bump by 11. Wow, he gets just... And he's going to look...
And Xarnax picking up his rainbow drop there. So yeah, he's looking really good now. I think that puts him at about, what, just over 140 MP or AP now. So he's going to be doing at least 10 to 20 per swing.
Yeah, this is a really good position for jkoper to be in. Tries a stop spell, but the Dragon Lord throws hurt in his face, and he decides, all right, I'm just going to punch you instead.
Probably the best thing he could have had, other than maybe stop spell. Hurt, you know, isn't going to do any damage really, so.
Yeah, and he's going to go for the other stop spell. No dice though.
Yeah, and I don't blame him, because, I mean, that's actually a really good move, because a lot of times, if the Dragon Lord has sleep, they'll almost always start out with sleep. So if you're lucky enough to hit that, and then he does cast sleep, well, you know, it's probably going to be a pretty easy fight from there on out.
Yeah, he unfortunately rolled a bunch of low rolls to start out, but you know, followed up with the 17, so getting back on track here. Here's a 19.
Well, nonetheless, he does have the knowledge that metal scorpions there. It doesn't take much to kill. If he does need XP, probably going to be the best grind spot that we have for this season.
Yeah, Centroid making it to 15 now, and Xarnax and Centroid not too far off from the next level. Just gotta take a look and find that out.
Xarnax gonna open up the bridge to Sharlock and hopefully see if he takes a peek in here.
jkoper used just enough MP on those stop spells where he wouldn't burn a heal more by trying another one. So good move on his part.
Oh, but he's gonna go with the hurt more strat.
Oh, and he knows Dragon Lord has heal now, so he knows exactly how much HP the Dragon Lord has, and is just hoping the stop spell hits. Nope.
Yeah, because at this point, I mean, even doing 10 to 20, it's going to be hard to punch through all that. But does have the knowledge that he needs to go in there and try to get that stop spell to go off. Or if he can't get it to go off, you know, just try to bust through the heals with his attacks, hoping he doesn't roll low.
Yeah, credit to him. I think he realized that he was in YOLO hurt more territory, and tried the stop spell with the last of his MP, and it just didn't work out. But the stats look good for this fight. He got the Dragonlord into heal range. He just has to hit the stop spell.
Yeah, and I mean he started the fight already down on MP to start, so I mean he's really looking good going in there, having that extra 36 MP. So
yeah, Xarnax not too far off from level 17 himself, though. And in fact, he's going to get it off of this Metal Scorpion right now. Going to be down a couple heal mores, but things are looking pretty good for him as well.
Finding out that he needs 1767 XP to the next level. Yeah, and he's gonna start out with 148 AP, so has the fighter's ring. Unfortunately, jkoper didn't find the fighter's ring, which was on the second floor of Garen's grave. But also starting out with 27 more MP than what jkoper did, so we will see how jkoper fares. Dragonlord decided to put the hurts away, as it didn't do any damage to jkoper, and just tried to bust through Xarnax, hitting him pretty hefty with those 40s and 30s. And actually Xarnax getting some pretty good hits there. I see some 17s, a lot of higher rolls, so looking good for him so far. There's another 17.
Yeah, another light attack, so that's a nice full heal, almost.
Yeah, Dragonlord hitting him for just 23. If the Dragonlord just keeps hitting him like that and leaves the fire away, you know, he has the potential to get a triple attack with that 140 hit point.
Yeah, jkoper puts on the death necklace, tries to walk up his HP, and gets two-shot by a wolf.
Yikes.
So thou art cursed. Leave at once.
That's unfortunate. At least in this seed, we don't have to go through Tanticle Castle to get to Sharlock, or that would cost for a soft lock there. As long as unless Breckenary was on the same continent and he was able to have that removed, but gonna have to go find a town now to restore, unless he had full magic and he's just gonna walk his hit points, which that appears to be what he's doing. Xarnax over there still beating on that Dragonlord.
Yeah, down to the last heal more, and just decides to. I wonder if that was a miss menu. He just swung with 13 MP left. Either that or a miscount, maybe?
It could be, but I don't even... I mean, I was glancing at the other screens at the same time, but I didn't see the Dragonlord cast heal unless I missed it.
Yeah, a lot of lead changes going on here right now, and Centroid, sitting at levels that same level 17 with 96 MP.
And that's the power of Chaos Mode. You could be the first one, and I've seen this earlier in the week. You can be the first to unlock Sharlock. You can be the first with the knowledge of what the Dragonlord holds, and you can end up being the last one to kill it. I mean, that's just the power of Chaos Mode. But I will say, with these Chaos Modes, having the short Sharlock makes making these dives a little bit more tolerable. Now, if this wasn't short Charlock, I could see some frustration in some of these seeds that we've played in the past.
I mean, Xarnax is, being given the business. jkoper already back here at level 18 with a hefty bump in attack power. So it's just trying to get through this wolf right now.
Still has a decent hit points. I mean, at 110 hit points, I mean, you usually look to be around 97 when you go in there. So having that 159 and 110 hit points, he still has a chance to score a double attack if the Dragon Lord 2 is nice and hits him for, does those attacks for 20s and 30s, as Centroid is going to enter the fight down here. So we'll see how he fares.
Yeah, jkoper trying to walk up that last bit of health, and he's running into all of these experience-rich enemies, but not gonna go for level 19, not this late.
Centroid cast a stop spell there just to see if it had any effect.
Ooh, Dragon Lord punching for 40, so jkoper pretty much hoping not for a back attack right now.
Hits for 28.
Yeah, and right now the jkoper strategy it's pretty clear. Just punch through the Dragon Lord's heal. Don't try to land stop spell.
Yeah, and I mean, as we saw, the other runners have tried to cast. I don't know what his resistance is, but not having any luck with the stop spell from any of our runners. So, in that case, plan B, make a couple levels, pop the Death Necklace on if you need to, and, try to return the business.
I think the DL1 threw out a heal more, but you're only delaying the inevitable. Yeah, Centroid hasn't seen it yet.
He's actually down to his last two, or his final heal mode.
Oh, there it is. He just saw it. Oh no, and there's a heal after a roll of 11.
Got 3 runners all on Dragon Lord.
I think one more heal is going to be the nail in the coffin. He got a low double here, and yeah, that's it. There's the heal, and he's got to go for. He's got to YOLO this. But yeah, he's out of Dragon Lord. Just going to throw out a heal right in front. So thus ends Centroid's attempts here.
Well, even that attack power on jkoper screen, he's almost out of MP, and this Dragon Lord is still finally takes him down. Whew.
And Xarnax got him too, and it's like Centroid goes for the YOLO stop spell, but I mean at this point the YOLO sleep, just try anything.
Alright, get your GGs in chat. It looks like jkoper is going to finish with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 29 seconds. And boy, this seed was very unfriendly, not only at the start, but even at the finish.
Yeah, GG to jkoper, just the first to do that dive, the first to get the information, and the first to put together the plan of, yeah, I'm gonna pump iron and punch through all of those heals, and it paid off in a big way.
Yeah, there was actually a seed we watched yesterday, and the Death Necklace actually was the deciding factor. And I mean, we saw a bunch of these runners, go up against the Dragon Lord 4 or 5 times, in their menu, and we were just, I personally was yelling at the screen like, Death Necklace, because that's what won the fight, and they just kept, beating their head on it, and it was miserable to watch. But I think sometimes you get in that mindset to where sometimes you might not just realize that it's in your inventory or that it's just not the right move at the time. And, you know, there's just a lot of stuff going on, especially with it being week 5. And, you know, the points here are going to matter this week. So getting that first place finish, I mean, you pretty much got to make all the gambles. And putting on the death necklace is always a gamble.
So we've got Xarnax punching his way through the Dragon Lord now, and he looks like he's in pretty good shape for second place here. Centroid runs into a wolf, and you know, get that DL2 breath. Not playing nice with anybody.
No, and I mean, that wolf from the start of the game all the way to the finish has just been so many problems for our runners. I mean, as we saw earlier, jkoper trying to walk his hit points back, wasn't able to do it. Centroid also getting sent back by that same blue wolf. We saw that blue wolf early on too at the start when the runners were trying to make progress, just escorting him back to Tentacles, so just not playing nice. But we do have Xarnax here with the Dragon Lord fight, and it looks like he might have put on the Death Necklace because he's now sitting at 110 hit points, and he's hitting for 25, so he's got the right idea. However, the Sea Wolf is going to try to, you know, use the heal mores and try to take it down that way. I don't even know if the Sea Wolf has if this is his first or second go at the Dragon Lord.
Wow, and Xarnax just paves over the Dragon Lord. 75 MP left still in the tank, and that's going to be good for second place. So get out your GGs for Xarnax.
Yeah, it looked like on Xarnax's screen he was rolling like a lot of like high, if not close to max level hits, just returning the favor. And Xarnax is going to finish with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 35 seconds. And the Sea Wolf still hacking away at the Dragon Lord 2. Actually getting some pretty big rolls. The last 2 rolls I saw were 18. That was a 20. So, I mean, hitting some pretty high rolls. So we will see if he's going to see the heal strat from the Dragon Lord and if he's going to switch to just trying to bang through it, or if he's going to switch to doing stop spell strats.
And we're joined by Xarnax right now. GG, Xarnax.
Hey, thank you. I guess jkoper left already?
jkoper just joined right now, too. GG to you, jkoper. A little bit of Discord issues. So, Xarnax, let me ask you, when you saw that heal, did you immediately think of just punching through with the death?
I've definitely thought about it. I had only tried stop spell once the first time I saw it. So the second fight, I knew if I landed an early stop spell, I'd be in great shape. And I figured if I couldn't land one in the first 8 tries, then I would just die and try again. And I'm guessing by the finish time, if I had hacked at the Dragon Lord the second time I tried him, it would have been a nail biter.
Oh, and not to interrupt, but the Seawolf lands stop spell and is able to finish the Dragon Lord off right there at the last bit.
Oh, nice. GG.
Yeah, that's gonna put him in 3rd place now, and here we go.
So what did Xarnax do to beat the Dragon Lord?
So I the first time I fought him, I tried stop spell once, and then I just hacked away until I saw heal, and then I just kept trying. I think I had 13 MP left, and I had hit him. He had cast heal. Then I hit him, and then I think he did a Dragon Lord Breath. So the next hit was going to kill me, but he didn't heal. So I thought maybe if I hit him again, he would die, but he didn't. That was the first fight. The second one, I cast stop spell like 8 times in a row to start the fight, and none of them landed. And I think my second fight, I think, is we entered the fight that you won. We entered that was very, very close to each other. I was near the end of the fight when I died, and then you did a dot-done about a minute later.
Yeah,
okay, I see.
Yeah,
the first fight.
Yeah, I beat him on my 3rd try. So on my 2nd try, I failed that try, and then you finished shortly after.
Okay. I had my first fight, I went in there, I only had 60 MP, 60 MP, so I used a stop spell on Dragon Lord 1, not knowing what to expect there, saw him cast Hurt, just punched through him, and then I threw a stop spell out there on Dragon Lord 2, and happened, and then I just hit him, and then I got him to cast heal with only 56 MP backing me up. And then, but then I couldn't finish him off. I don't remember exactly how that first fight ended, but, I didn't have enough in me.
Yeah. Do you know what you were?
I'm not sure.
Level 18 gave 27 MP. I felt really good after I saw it.
Yeah, I might have been there. I don't know. I know I was checking levels with Gwaelin's Love, and then the next one was like 30-something hundred more XP when I decided to stop at the end.
Oh,
because I got a level after my first fight with him, and then I put on the death necklace, and then I got killed by some wolves who would fire breath me to death. So that was fun. And then just my 3rd try down, I won. Just punched through with the death necklace on the heal.
Nice.
And it's an interesting battle for sure when the Dragon Lord has heal and you don't know quite exactly how much HP he's got left. So, yeah. Anyway.
Now, as we saw how grueling that Sharlock dive with the wolves and the Dragon Lord 1 and 2, 1 not being so, as terrible as it could have been, but 2 really, showing. What did you guys think about the start of that race?
It was ridiculous. First of all, that Sharlock was... I don't know that I could call it grueling at all, because most of the enemies died in 1 hit.
Yeah.
And then Dragon Lord 1 had Hurt, and the only hard part was Dragon Lord 2 having heal. And not only did most of the enemies die in 1 hit, but most of them were giving 100 or 200 experience, so it was a good place to improve your levels while you were failing, I guess.
Yeah, I think there was one point I got nearly 10 metal scorpions in a row.
Yeah, yeah, grinding in Charlotte was definitely the play if you could get there early.
Yeah, the Metal Scorpion has definitely yielded some of the best XP right there, especially being that trap tile. But like at the start of the race, I don't think a single one of you guys found what's considered the wet noodle mob. In fact, I saw a lot of sleep, a lot of hurt more, a lot of DL2 breath. In fact, I think it was almost 15 minutes when jkoper finally busted up to the north, found Cantlin and saw that they had Dollar Store, Flame Sword, and Silver Shield, and he was the first one to actually break out. But then slowly after that, the rest of you guys trekked your way up there. And once you guys were able to find that gear, you know, it was still miserable to some extent, but you were actually able to make some progress at that point.
Yeah, it was not a terrible start, I didn't think. I'm pretty sure Drakey's were the wet noodle, but not positive on that.
I don't...
I definitely...
If I saw any in the overworld, it wasn't until late. Because I think I saw them in the swamp cave or something at some point, or I don't know, somewhere.
Yeah, there were definitely some in the overworld. Yeah, definitely when I found Cantlin and Flame Sword, Silver Shield, I was wondering, you know, just how far behind or ahead I was. I knew it was very possible that anybody could have found that in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, every enemy sucked to fight, but I was having some good success running from things at least, which is unusual for Chaos. I think the Brace were the worst thing around the start, but I mean,
and then Spectres.
But yeah. But at least once you got some power, the Spectres would go down easy.
Yeah, once you're able to kill them, they yielded good XP. Also, it took you, jkoper. You were also the first person to enter Hawk's Nest, but trying to get over to that town from Cantlin, I mean, there was those golems that just didn't want you to get over there. And then once you were able to get over there and find the Warlock covering that search tile, I thought that was a really good gamble going for it, but sadly it came up empty.
Yeah, no regrets there. I had a chainmail, I think. So, yeah, that would have been a huge find there, getting some Erdricks, but I guess we had to get those coordinates. But man, this was quite the friendly seed for exploration. So many towns near start, and then the caves near start, and then you go through the swamp cave right there, and then you're right near the search spot. And
in fact, just north of Cantlin was Rimmeldar. You only had to go a couple tiles north of Cantlin to pop it on the screen, and then you were able to find keys, which unlocked Erdrick's sword in the treasury. It also unlocked the silver harp there inside Rimmeldar.
Yeah, I'm really curious how things would have played out if I had handled my keys differently. I somehow missed Rimmeldar at the beginning, and my first key was in Mountain Cave.
Oh, I never entered Mountain Cave at all.
I dug out all of Mountain and Garen's grave. I found the grave was right next to Mountain Cave. So when I found the key in Mountain Cave, I was like, well, I didn't have outside yet, so this was really a dumb play. It may have cost me the race. But I walked out of Mountain Cave, went back in to get another key, to make sure that I had one after doing the grave. Then walked back out of Mountain Cave, walked back to the grave to check the bottom 2 floors, and then I death warped out of there to finally get inside Tanagel Treasury. So I did all of Mountain and Grave right after I found keys before I was able to check.
Start. Were there good enemies to fight in those caves?
There was a couple floors at the bottom of the grave that were basically the same zone as right outside of Swamp Cave South, which was Green Dragons, Magiwyverns, and Goldmen.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna grind if I had to grind it all before I saw the tile in Charlock.
I ground there for a while before I even explored.
Yeah, I was going to do it, and then I died, and then I went some other direction, and then I found a bunch of stuff, and I was like, well, whatever, I'm gonna go Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, yep. So, so Seawolf hasn't had a chance to talk yet, but GG to you as well.
Yeah, good work, everybody. Good work.
Thank you. Pretty happy to come away.
It did
with
help.
this.
I missed every single town, and then missed every single spot in the overworld, and then missed where Charlotte was. So,
You know, I have to say, Seawolf, GG to you, because you actually were pretty persistent in trying to find and track down that wet noodle mob, that you were actually the last person to travel north and find your flame sword and your silver shield.
I was very sad. I was very sad when I walked around and saw flame sword, and Emerald Are.
But once
Very
you
sad.
found that, your exploration and tracking got really good, because you were then the second person, I believe, to have your rainbow drop and ready to go find Erdrick's armor. So GG to you on that, catching up a lot of lost ground.
Yeah, I found the harp, the stones, and the drop with the token in short order. So no need to dive in caves. I skipped mountains, skipped Garen's grave. You know, once I had those caves and the swamp caves right there, I just dodged all the rest of the caves. Didn't matter. It was just fine. Find coal, which I found eventually had Pixie Flute, and find the spot in Caitlin's right there. So basically, the caves were out of question, so I had to worry about diving into Chaos Caves, which are awful, and just try and find where the heck is Charlock, more or less.
Yep, and for any of you guys that were curious, they just brought up the DL2 stats, and hit points rolled 229, and that lovely 15 out of 16 stop spell resistance.
Really? Okay. So I threw 3 at the start of the fight, and it didn't stick. And then when we started casting heal, I tried again and got lucky.
You were the only person to land stop spell, actually, Seawolf, and the only person to kill Dragonlord at level 17.
Yeah, I didn't put the necklace on, so I wanted the HP for healing. So that, it was the first time fighting him, I wanted to know the details. And I couldn't tell. DL1 was really soft, and DL2 was taking a lot of damage, but he was just taking it and not going down. He was taking a whole bunch of damage. And we got to the point where I couldn't heal anymore, so I threw stop spell out just to see what happens. And he started throwing some heals out for lucky free rounds.
And it looked like DL1 had looked like about a 50% hurt chance and a 50% attack chance, because jkoper, when you first fought the Dragonlord, you got lucky. It cast hurt on you twice, and that was it. Once Xarnax got in there second, we didn't see hurt. We saw the attack 33, and then I think another 40.
That's a muscle to him. So yeah, and he just same thing to me. I stopped immediately, and he tried doing 2 failed hurt spells. That's all he did.
And it does look like the Dragonlord also had 15 out of 16 stop spell, but only 1 out of 16 to sleep, so he was pretty easy to put to sleep. And he did have heal more also on the Dragonlord 1.
Okay, so again, lucky stop spell then, so I stopped him cold and didn't lose. So lucky there.
Yeah, there was one. I think my third fight, I saw heal more after 1 attack, so I wasn't too worried about him anymore after that.
Yeah, I was just sad. First dive was, wolves. I ran, like in 10 steps, I ran to like 3 wolves, 2 metal scorpions, and another wolf, and finally killed me off. I just didn't want to waste any healing. So close to the town, so close to the Tangel. I'm not going to heal, 1/3 of the way into the dive.
There was one other thing that I was really, really proud of. It took me many, many tries to actually get to Cantlin after I saw it on my map. That little desert hill gauntlet was nasty. I ended up managing to do it with basically manipulation strats. It was pretty, yeah. I
Really?
was paying attention. I was paying attention to, like, after I went down the stairs in the castle, which direction people were walking, and then
Interesting.
making a note of where my first encounter was. And
The only thing that I was doing was, so I saved at the beginning, and then I was resetting on every death.
yeah,
And then I kept getting a Spectre outside of Charlotte, or not Charlotte, Tainajou. So I was just delaying at the beginning to try to get rid of this Spectre fight. Is it a Spectre? Why, I'm getting yeah, it is a Spectre.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah,
I'm getting the 3 ghosts mixed up, but
Yeah,
yeah,
the
Poltergeist
lovely-
is the middle one.
lovely high agility, ambush, sleep, hurt more spectre. Yes, that one.
yeah.
And we're joined here too by Centroid41, finishing in last place with a official time of 1:20:55. GG to you, Centroid, for finishing that out, because not only was that a extremely unfriendly start for everybody, but that DL2 truly enjoyed giving you guys the business tonight.
Thanks, GG. Yeah, that was I think the middle game was pretty kind, at least because of all the what do you call it? Like, there were so many good enemies with 200 plus experience points in just very convenient spots. So I think that was the nice part about the seed for sure. But I think I'm not really used to chaos at all. I think that was my second race ever. But I think what I probably should have done was use the Death Necklace on the Dragon Lord, but I don't know if that would have helped or not.
Well, in fact, I think I know jkoper and I believe Xarnax, they actually ended up, after a few tries, donning on the necklace in order to punch through the heal, because we did see that Dragon Lord 2 rolled a amazing 229 hit points, and it had 15 out of 16 stop spell chance. So they just basically got to 18, had the higher attack power put on the Death Necklace, and just tried to fight through the heals, and they both ended up winning that way. However, the Seawolf got lucky going in there and was actually able to land a stop spell on DL2 at level 17. And although he struggled, he still managed, I believe, to kill it with 7 MP left, or just under 7, so he was pretty much out of resources at the time.
Yeah, the Death Necklace definitely helped. It's really hard to know going in to the fight whether or not it's the right play.
Yeah, I just didn't know it was the first time in, so I figured I'd go in full HP and see what happened the first time.
Yeah, after I saw heal and I saw that Dragon Lord 1 wasn't a major threat, then I knew it was safe to put it on.
Yeah, my problem was I was getting like nonstop. For the first half of the fight was all breath attacks. I got like 6 or 7 in a row. So he sent me for like 20 to 30, but then he was breathing fire on me over and over again. I was like, well, it's not, I have all the HP, I have all his defense, it's great, but he keeps doing the set damage attack on me. It doesn't matter.
My first fight was ridiculous. He attacked, I think he rolled under 30, maybe like 5 out of 6 straight attacks. It was,
yeah, I saw 20. I was very shocked.
Yeah, still made it long.
He was being really friendly with those attacks and not breathing fire. I actually thought at that point there was a really good chance that you might actually be able to make it out of there.
But my first fight, just to go on further, I think I was at 16, maybe. But yeah, like I didn't really expect it to win, but I wanted to go in there and give it a shot and see if it would have. Like, if that stop spell would have landed on Dragon Lord 2, I think I would have won. Yeah, so then I just got a couple more levels just quickly on those Metal Scorpions the second time through.
Yeah, I was really hoping to get into Sherlock early, because I had maybe even 40 minutes in or 50 minutes in, I had all 3 of the goods. I was ready to go in there, other than the armor. I just wanted to go in there just to grind, see what was in the treasury. And somehow I missed the giant block of castle in the middle of the first continent.
It was actually, it's funny you say that, because we found out that the Sherlock was just north and to the east a little bit of Rimeldar there, and it wasn't until almost 45 minutes in before we actually saw our first Sherlock site.
Yeah, I went ham on the second continent. I walked around the whole edge. I went south first, then went west again, I went north again, then finally I went east. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. And there it is. And I thought I found coal that it was actually ended up being Breckenary. A real long, and second continent goes, a real long swampy path to a tile pathway, and it ends a town right by 3 mountains. And you can't get to it anywhere else. It ended up being Breckenary. I laughed really hard that was coal. But no such luck.
All right, any final thoughts from you, jkoper?
No, I'm pretty happy to to come away with this. I was really wanting to get through to the next round. Knew I needed to win, and other than that one death in the swamp cave, I feel like I played really well, so I'm glad it worked out. But I'm happy for the good race from everyone, and thanks for the restream and commentary and everything. As always.
Like I said, GG to you on those 5 points. I didn't actually make the playoffs myself, but I do look forward to participating, whether it's helping with the restreams, the track, commentating. But I really look forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs. I think it's going to be a lot of craziness, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Any last final thoughts from you, Xarnax?
No, just thanks for throwing the restream together, and thanks for everyone running the league. It's been a lot of fun. Pretty sure that I'm mathematically out of the playoff race, but chaos will do that to you. So it's all good. It was a lot of fun, and best of luck to jkoper moving forward.
Thank you for that. And Seawolf, any final thoughts from you?
No, it's a good fun league. Had fun with it. The variety is nice. I find it funny that I usually better in chaos than normal, but I won. My winning race was the vanilla seed, which is very bizarre. But a good mix across the board. And league is definitely an interesting format. I'll be glad to see it come back next year probably. But I think summertime will be a little more set. It'll be fun to watch and take care of too.
Definitely look forward to seeing a lot of you guys, whether it be later in the year or even for the spring tournament next year. So, and Centroid, what about you? Any final thoughts on this seed tonight?
Yeah. Can you tell me what monster was the noodle?
Draki.
Oh okay, yeah. Okay.
It was south of the giant swamp. I saw a few in the overworld there. That's about it.
Found those later in the seed, but yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks to all the staff for restreaming and commentating and tracking. And jkoper, good luck in the playoffs, man.
Thank you.
And for everybody else watching, I think we're going to go ahead and end this. But before we do, make sure you guys take a second and check out these runners and give them a follow. Like I said, I mean, huge props to these guys for coming out, because chaos is never easy. And, chaos can be fun and chaos can be miserable at the same time. So, like I said, make sure you guys do that. But from all of us here at Randomania, as well as the Dragon Warrior community, without you guys being the fans, we couldn't do this. So huge shout out to all you guys. I want to shout out to CD Improv for doing the restream, Link Force again for doing the tracker. I am Braxis Muse with my co-commentary Edgeworth. Do you have anything to say, Eds, before we close this out?
No, I think you covered everything. Just GG to the runners. If you're out there watching, you like what you saw, give them a follow. And hey, follow the commentators too. They're cool people.
All right, and like I said, from everybody here, actually, let me see. I think we have a race tomorrow. Let me announce the race that we have tomorrow. So if you guys want to watch, it looks like actually on the 1st, we're going to have at 3-1, which is March 1st at 7 p.m. It looks like we have a race between Ryguy, Jackamus Wedge, Mr. Holmes, and Beta Strep. And on March 3rd, we are going to have our final race of Week 5 with Captain Green 7, Basp 33, the Shubinator, and Brysolf. So yeah, if you guys, like I said, if you guys like it, make sure you guys tune in on those days. But until next time, everybody have a wonderful night.